Hello, Ayya Sangamita.
Hi, good morning. I am Marajina. Can you hear me, Ayya?
Yes, I can. And can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear Ayya clearly. So,
Okay.
I see this screenshot um, by one of our volunteer to announce this coming event of Dharma Dharini. So after the end of this, I will give a brief introduction about Ayya, and then we'll invite Ayya for the guiding meditation for this morning. Is that okay, Ayya?
Yes.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. So today is a Sunday morning. We will continue the program of guided meditation with a Q&A. And this week, we are deeply grateful for having Ayya Marajina that being present here to give her our time, to give us her time to share her teaching with us. So let me give a brief introduction for Ayya Marajina. Ayya Marajina Theri Bhikkhuni has received her higher dignity from Ayatotthaloka Mahatheri at Ayya Bodhi Hermitage in year 2012. And Ayya focuses mostly on mindfulness and loving kindness practice. That in Pali we call it the meditation in Satipatthana, according to Satipatthana and the Brahma Vihara. Ayya Marajina also sharing the Dhamma in both Spanish and English, and she divides her time between Cuba, Florida, and also teaching online with a global Spanish-speaking Dhamma community. So with this brief introduction, I would like to invite Ayya to guide us for the meditation this morning, and we'll follow up with a Q&A. So the theme for the guided meditation this morning is the 5 spiritual faculties, right, Ayya?
I don't know if it's the theme for the meditation, but we will discuss the 5 spiritual faculties before the Q&A.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Ayya, for offering your teaching. So the
Thank
floor
you.
is yours, Ayya, please.
Okay, so thank you very much for the introduction. Hello, Crystal. It's nice to see you here. Hello, everyone. Ayya Sangamita did correctly say that I received Upasampada in 2012 at Aranya Bodhi. Can everyone hear me? Just nod. Okay, great.
Yes.
Thank you. I was given the name Marajina by Lungpur Mahaprasad. And it's been a name to live up to. I'm also the spiritual guide and the leading teacher of Theravada Cuba. You can learn more about us at theravadacuba.com. Trying to spread the Dhamma in Cuba during a very trying time economically and emotionally, of course, what they're going through at the moment. So let's begin with a semi-guided meditation. And if you don't do well with guided meditations, you can mute your volume for 30 minutes. We will go from 12 now, 12:01, maybe 12:02 when we start, until 12:30. So you can set a timer for yourselves if you just want to meditate along. I'm not going to be speaking the entire time, but just to keep our focus while we're in our presence and in the moment. So let's close our eyes or leave them half open, half closed. Looking at the floor about a foot beneath you or in front of your feet. And sit comfortably. It's very important to be comfortable. If you want to sit in a full lotus, that's cool, that's fine. But if you want to sit on a chair, that's also fine. We're training the mind right now. So let's, with our back straight, let's take a few deep breaths and visualize that fresh air, fresh as in still fully oxygenated air entering our bloodstream, our lungs, and releasing it. And when we release it with the spent air that our body and our mind has already used. So let's visualize the stale air leaving and the fresh air entering, replacing it. And bring up that energy with the breath. So give yourselves permission for the next half hour or so to let go of all your concerns, all of your thinking. Just give yourselves permission. They may be back when you finish this meditation, when we finish today, or you may find that it's okay to let them go. And let's look within for that still space, that quiet space. When your mind goes out, very gently bring it back. You may focus on your in and out breathing. You may focus on the body as a body. However you normally practice meditation. The Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh uses the saying, I have arrived. I am home. Look for that space within where you can say, I have arrived. I am home. It's there. Look quietly. Look deeply. It's in that stillness we cover over with our thinking, with our wanting, with our not wanting, with our boredom and tiredness, with our restlessness, our anxiety, our regret. It's there. Thoughts come and go constantly. If you go after them, you're like a wanderer, ever seeking to arrive. Arrive. I have arrived. I am home. Don't go after your thinking. Let thoughts go. By themselves, they'll lose interest. Thoughts are like the waves crashing on the shore. There's a whole ocean beyond them. Look deeper. Thoughts come and go constantly. Hardly one ends when another one begins, unrelated. See their impermanent nature, their non-self nature. See how they can keep one suffering. Let them be. Clinging to the thinking mind is like living in your neighbor's house. Go home. Look quietly. Look deeper. See, there is no thinker, only thinking. Seeing in this way, arrive, be home. May no harm come to any being. May all beings be well, at ease, at peace. Hello again.
Thank you, Ayya. It's wonderful.
So, Ayya Sangamita, are you going to talk about what you were going to talk about first or after the presentation?
Ayya, would you please share with us your knowledge about your presentation? Yeah,
Sure.
thank you so much.
Okay, so the presentation is about the 5 spiritual faculties, which are sada, faith. You can call it conviction. There's several other words. Don't get stuck on the word in English or in Spanish or any language. In Pali, it's sada, and it means a belief, a conviction. It means faith. Take your pick. And there's virya, energy. And this is a clear energy. This is not the erratic energy of caffeine. It's, you know, it's energy that's focused. And there's sati, which is translated as mindfulness, which is a good translation. It means the presence, the conscious presence without greed, without aversion. And there's samadhi. Bhante Sujato has a very good translation as immersion. It's also translated as concentration. And finally, panya, wisdom. So I found this quote, I believe it's from the Milinda Panya. It's Venerable Nanga Sena speaking to King Milinda. And the Venerable says, Sada, Your Majesty, when it arises, averts the hindrances. A mind that is without hindrances is clear, composed, undisturbed. Just so, Your Majesty, Sada has the characteristic of settling down, calming. When a practitioner sees that the minds of others are freed, you know, when we can infer from others how their minds aren't clinging to what the situation is, this can give faith. So, I mean, I just went off the quote, but so back on the quote, they leap forward after the fruit of stream entry, of once return, of non-return, or of arhat. They make an effort for the attaining of the unattained, for the obtaining of the unobtained, for the realization of the unrealized. So, Your Majesty, Sada has the characteristic of leaping forward. And this is a very curious saying, because Sada is usually, just was said, of settling, but it's not like staying there. And this is a danger for faith, for faithful people, for followers of faith that are just content to stay there. This is not the spiritual faculty of faith. The spiritual faculty of faith gives one the determination. It feeds inspiration to go, to continue. When in our meditation, when I was saying, delve deeper, go to the quieter spaces. This is also sadha. You have faith that there is a quieter space, but you also have the inspiration to go, to get there. And in the 5 spiritual faculties, in the Patamasamkhita Sutta, the Buddha describes these faculties as actually, it's the Patavibhanga Sutta. Mendicants. This is Bhante Sujata's translation. Mendicants, there are these 5 faculties. What 5? The faculties of faith, energy, mindfulness, immersion, and wisdom. And what is the faculty of faith? It's when a noble disciple has faith in the realized one's awakening. Faith in the Buddha's Buddhahood. That blessed one is perfected, a fully awakened Buddha, accomplished in knowledge and conduct, holy, knower of the world, supreme guide for those who wish to train, teacher of gods and humans, awakened, blessed. This is called the faculty of faith. And what is the faculty of energy? It's when a noble disciple lives with energy, roused up for giving up unskillful qualities and embracing skillful qualities. They're strong, staunchly vigorous, not slacking off when it comes to developing skillful qualities. This is called the faculty of energy. And what is the faculty of mindfulness? It's when a noble disciple is mindful. They have utmost mindfulness and alertness and can remember and recall what was said and done long ago. This is the faculty of mindfulness. Now, mindfulness comes from the root same root as memory. So it's not that suddenly you can remember everything. It's like when you are wholly present, alert. You will remember what was happening. When you are wholly present for a Dhamma talk, for instance, the Dhamma talk can be recalled for a long, long time after, because there was sati. And what is the faculty of immersion? It's when a noble disciple, relying on letting go, gains immersion, gains unification of mind. The unification of mind is also a very good translation for samadhi. And what is the faculty of wisdom? It's when a noble disciple is wise. They have the wisdom of arising and passing away, which is noble, penetrative, and leads to the complete cessation of suffering. This is called the faculty of wisdom. Bhikkhu Bodhi, Venerable Bhikkhu Bodhi has a very good article on the 5 faculties where he talks about the balancing of them. And as practitioners, it's our work to balance the 5 faculties. I spoke a little bit ago about, just blind faith. Blind faith will just put you there, just stay there, you're not going anywhere. So it needs to be balanced with wisdom so that it can nourish itself truly. The faculty of energy to be balanced with passaddhi. So that there's not that rush, that frenetic energy, but that it's a focused energy. And then he says that sati kind of overlooks those qualities to be sure that the inclination is correct, that there's progress being made. But as I was reading this, I thought, well, that's not how we begin. Not only are the 5 spiritual faculties not balanced when we begin a practice, or even as we proceed in a practice, there's not a good balance. Oftentimes we get a rush of one, a rush of energy, or a rush of immersion. But not only that, they're not perfect at the beginning. They're not perfected. They're not perfected at stream entry. At stream entry, one is confirmed, like confirmed faith. There has been a breakthrough that confirms, yes, this indeed is the way. But before that, we're learning to get there. And so we should be careful, cautious of what Venerable Nagasena said a little while ago, leaping forward. I think that leaping forward before one is ready can bring more confusion. So we think we understand, say, what sati is. But sati actually begins with attention, manasikara, which is a faculty that we share with all sentient life. All sentient life has that faculty of attention. So it's very rudimentary. And we know attention can be for skillful things. It can be for very unskillful, unwholesome things. So while we're training the mind, we train with attention, but that's not sati yet. We begin with beginning faith, beginning energy, beginning sati, which is attention. First manasikara, then yoniso manasikara. And samadhi, we begin with before we ever attain to an immersion, before we attain to a jhana, we're practicing, we're in bhavana, we're developing samadhi. And wisdom isn't just reading and listening. Those are very critical components of knowledge. But wisdom is experiential. So while we're unfolding in the Noble Eightfold Path, we have glimpses of insight, tidbits of knowledge, preliminary wisdom, we can call it. So the 5 spiritual faculties begin on very uneven ground. We're walking uneven before we walk on the even, and we may stumble. We may get completely wrong. So humility, which is not one of these faculties, is essential to be able to be corrected so that we can get back on the right path. before we go too far away. And now I would like to quote the Patamasankita Sutta, where the Buddha tells us, there are levels of these. Mendicants, there are these 5 faculties. What 5? The faculty of faith, energy, mindfulness, immersion, and wisdom. These are the 5 faculties. Someone who has completed and fulfilled these 5 faculties is a perfected one. If they are weaker than that, they're a non-returner. If they are weaker still, they're a once returner. If they are weaker still, they're a stream winner. If they're weaker still, they're a follower of the teachings. If they're weaker still, they're a follower of faith. So you can see that these are the different levels of the 5 spiritual faculties. And of course, on following them, when they are very well developed, they become powers, spiritual powers. But we develop, this is a gradual path. We develop little by little through our practice. It's through our practice, actually, that we progress. Not just by reading or attending retreats or listening to the podcasts and filling up with a lot of Dhamma knowledge. I think it was Ajahn Chah that said, knowledge for its own sake is useless. The practice is the way. And the way is the way. So I think we can leave a few minutes for discussion and questions and maybe answers.
Yes, this is a good time now. Thank you,
Okay,
Ayya. Yeah, for our
okay.
presentation. Yeah. So let us see online our friends here. If any one of you have any question for Ayya Marajina in regards to the presentation the taught just now, please welcome to raise your hand. Hi, Daniel, please.
Thank you for the talk. I wanted to ask, and you might not know, you were talking about the 5 levels of the followers from the Arahant all the way down to, I think it was a follower of faith. Do you know what is meant by the difference between a follower of faith and I think the one above that was a follower of the way or the teachings, something like that?
I believe also I've seen it as a wisdom follower. And that just means that we have different predispositions. And it's part of the personality that will determine which one. But my own personal opinion is that each one of those is working secluded from the other. So there's not just a complete faith follower with no wisdom, and there's no wisdom follower without faith, because as the path progresses, as our practice progresses, they go together, but one is stronger in an individual than in another. So that's what determines, that one just believes, one has confidence in the Buddha. And it's, nothing arises without a cause. This is determined through many, many, many existences that one leans toward faith. But as I mentioned, it's not a blind faith. It's a faith that leans towards confirmation. So that's wisdom. And one is a follower of wisdom, but not just like, it's impossible, as I see it, to gain in wisdom on the path and not gain in confidence and conviction also. So does that help you?
Yeah, very much. I appreciate it.
Okay, good.
Do you have any question for you? No? Okay. So let's see. So maybe I have a question for Ayya.
Oh, okay.
Yes. When we talk about the five faculties, does it apply in the same way for both samatha and vipassana practice? Ayya? And
Yes.
my another sub question is that how people will experience the samadhi? Is it differently for those practice samatha and vipassana? Thank you.
Oh, good questions, Ayya. And there are five faculties. There's not five faculties for samatha and five faculties for vipassana. Although they can, the samadhi will develop differently because samadhi for samatha practice requires a little bit more of the passaddhi, the tranquility, which will arise. Whereas for the vipassana practice, what's arising is more wisdom. And there's that one line in the Satipatthana Sutta where the line is Atapi sampajanya satima vinaya loke abhicca domanassa. So at that point, that is actually where samadhi begins. But where one might lean more toward passaddhi, that will go toward samatha. Where one is leaning more toward insight, which would be, as I see it, more of a wisdom, because it's more of a kanika samadhi. It's a momentary samadhi. So that will go toward vipassana practice, but they will all be perfected and balanced eventually, as at the arhat level where they are perfected.
Thank you so much, Ayya. And I think now it is time for us to end of the session here. Perhaps later we can keep 1 or 2 minutes for the volunteer to make the announcement as what she had did at the beginning of the program. Besides that, Ayya, knowing that this afternoon, Ayya, you also will lead another program for Sutta study. Yeah. And the Sutta study is about the 5 spiritual faculty and our Arahat, mother of the Bhikkhuni Sangha. I would like to know if there's any Sutta reference that Ayya would like to let us know, so we can read beforehand.
Yes, actually, that is not the topic
I see.
for this afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
The topic for this afternoon is the Sankadhamma Sutta, which is Samyutta Nikaya 42.8.
Okay.
And it's the conch blower. And the Buddha there discusses how our mind can entrap us into lower states of existence, and how we can arise out of those states of mind.
I see.
So Samyutta Nikaya 42.8.
Yeah, I got it. Sankadhamma Sutta.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Ayya. And looking forward to see you in the afternoon. The time here in California is 1 to 2:30. Yeah, everyone. So nice to meet you, Ayya, for the first time for myself. And I hope looking forward to see you. And And there's also another coming event that I will lead a day-long program in 20th September, and we will join that and to learn more from Ayya. Thank you so much, Ayya, for this morning. Spend time with us. Yeah, see you in the afternoon. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.